G'day everyone, welcome to the Flight of the Next podcast. I'm Holly here on Gadigal land in Sydney, as is Danny. In Te Whanganui-a-Tara, Wellington, we have Alex, and in Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, we have Erin. We have our women's season preview on today. If you missed our men's season preview that came out recently, give that a listen. So we'll start with that, the world's longest off-season for the women as well, it feels like. Exciting to be back. The dub will be back very soon. So, let's go through the squad first. All right, we have keepers. We have Carolina Villau, which is our Portuguese visa signing. Amy Feinberg-Danieli, Brooke Neary. Then for outfield players, we have Zoe McMeekin, Mackenzie Barry, Mania Elliott, Ella McMillan, Lara Wall, Bex Lake, Tiana Jaber, Maya McCutcheon, Alyssa Wynnum, Maiba Tanaka, Daisy Brazendale, Annalie Longo, Ella McCann, Olivia Ingham, Grace Jolly, Olivia Ferguson, Ella Geras, and Emma Main, the main train. So we've had quite a bit of turnover. We've lost some, I would say, pretty key players, people like Kate Taylor. I think we're going to miss Mickey Foster this season. I believe we tried really hard to keep Spec Meyer, but she went for the bling of the Melbourne City money. Who has thoughts on this squad? We'll start with Erin.
I think it's still pretty decent. Yeah, we did lose quite a few players, and Spec Meyer still hurts. And every time I see her on the Melbourne City page, I get 1 second closer to blocking them. And I'm almost there. But yeah, so she scored 3 goals in 3 games for them, so it's a massive bummer to lose her. But the players coming in look good. To get a keeper who's played in the Champions League is a big win for us, I think. Hopefully she plays well and we have some consistency in the back line. It says that she's good at distribution, good with the ball at her feet, which I'm excited to see. And having Maya McCutcheon come in from the NWSL, I don't think she got much, if any, game time there, but it's, still, we had success with our American imports last year, I think, Izzy Cox and Spec Meyer as well, both came through quite well, so the college system there works well to develop these players, and I think Paul Temple has a pretty good insight into what goes on over there, so I'm excited to see her come in and play for us. And yeah, keeping some of our pretty key players as well. Mac Barry's still there, and we've got Lara Wall in the back, so double Wall in the back is going to be pretty good for us, I think. But yeah, I'm excited to see the squad play, and hopefully we can make finals this year.
Yeah. When I look at the squad, the starting lineup looks really, really good, especially in attack. I think Grace Jolly and Olivia Ferguson, especially, I'm really, really excited to see. And you touched on Carolina Villau in goal, heaps of experience. Hopefully she continues the legacy of great goalkeepers at the Wellington Phoenix. But my main problem is kind of quality and depth. I think when you look at the starting lineup, it looks really good. But then when you look at the subs that are potentially on the bench, just like maybe not enough, defensive cover, Tiana Jaber, Ella McMillan, kind of the ones that wouldn't be starting. And then in midfield, you've got Daisy Brazendale, Olivia Ingham, like 2 academy players who aren't really proven in, at the A-League women level. And then attack, you've got Ella Geras and Maiba Tanaka, who also aren't really proven. So I think that starting lineup can be really good, but what happens if one of them gets injured? What happens at the end of the game? Are we going to struggle to see games out? That's kind of my main concern.
Yeah, I think it's for me it's just a little bit of an unknown, I guess. There's so much change happened in the team. We've basically lost 7, 8, 9 first teamers effectively, so it's almost like a brand new team. And a lot of the players, again, being imports, we don't really know. whether they're going to adjust and adapt and play well with the A-League. I guess the one thing that's good in terms of continuity is that we have, for the first time ever, the same coaching team as we had last year. With that, and with the basis of the academy players, hopefully some continuity in terms of the team culture and the team structure and the structure of the way we play. So that could be good. I think still left, we've got a few really key players. Obviously Mike Barry at the back, which we noticed, if she'd have gone, that would have been, beside myself, I think, because we would have completely lost our entire defence. Hopefully we can build around her. Lissa Wynnum was looking at the end of last season that she was really going to make a breakout, and this is, I think, her season to really stamp her mark on the A-League. And then I'm really happy with Grace Jarley up front. You're right, losing Cox and Speckmar I thought was awful, and again might make you despair, but I think Jarley can be very good. I think she can score a lot of goals for us, so I'm really happy that she's come back or back here. And then let's see how the imports play. To be honest, I don't really know that much about them. They all come from a reasonable level, a level which is at or higher than the A-League, so you'd hope that we'd be able to compete and add something. And I don't really know. I can't say that this squad is stronger than last year from looking at it, but I guess we wait until we get onto the grass.
So I was fortunate enough to happen to be at Blacktown Wanderers Football Park last Sunday when there happened to be a match on. I'm pleased with how the team looked. We had some really good attacking. It was beautiful to see Jale back in the yellow and black, playing centrally where she's at her best. That game ended 0-0, but we had a lot of chances. McCutcheon looked good. She played centre mid in the first part, and then she wound up as centre back, trying that out. Villau looked okay. So those Maybar Tanaka was not there because of just finalising visa issues, but she will be there, I'm hoping, tomorrow. We can meet her. It was promising. It was definitely promising. Lots of good attack. I liked seeing some other people like Lara Wall, I think, did well. Alyssa Wynnum with her little tricky turns and futsal moves was ending those with some beautiful passes. So yeah, I'm excited. We still have to see what's going to happen, but I thought that was really promising.
I think one thing to say is, like, most of the other teams in the league seem to be in a similar-ish position to ourselves, with the growth of the overseas league, especially the American, I won't say second tier league, but their second league. So many people have lost some of their better players, and so are recruiting from academies or from local leagues. So yeah, it's not like we're unique in this. Most teams are doing this, and this could be the way that the A-League sort of evolves now. We could be having quite a few departures in close season, and having to just really dip into the academy or the local football stocks.
I read through so the PFA is the Australian Players Association, the union, and their dub report came out just a while back, and I read through that, and that's actually worth a read if you're interested in the state of the dub. It talked about how the top players were already being... Hi, Mum. Sorry, we just saw Alex's mum. That those top players are being attracted elsewhere, but now with the USL and some of these other leagues sort of growing, I can't remember what it's called. The new American league is starting to hollow out the middle. So it's really hard to keep the middle ground of players, not just the top elite, but the middle, and it's mostly a money thing. They're not professionalism and whatnot. So I definitely recommend having a look through that report if you're interested. Let's move to the draw, perhaps more specifically the home matches. They are all at Porirua Park this season. There are no double headers for Wellington, which is a pity. I've heard that this is a financial decision because it's just so expensive to hold matches at Sky Stadium. Do you have any thoughts about the lack of double headers or return to Porirua Park?
I mean, yeah, I'm excited for Porirua Park. I think it's much better than Sky Stadium in terms of a football venue. You know, it seems much more, homely. It doesn't seem like this big corporate, concrete plaza, if you will. It's just, a nice, it's a beautiful ground too, to play in and to watch, I assume. And, you speak about the financial reasons. I mean, you can't really go past that. Like, if you can't afford to put matches at Sky Stadium, you can't afford it. And I think Porirua Park is a good alternative. The only real problem is, for me, because I live in town, catching the train out there. But, that's not a massive deal. There's plenty of people who live, further away and, in the heart up in Porirua, around there. I think it's a good place to have football matches.
I mean, I get the cost argument because we know Sky Stadium is really expensive, but surely a double header isn't going to cost that much more because you've already hired a stadium to put the men's match on. You've already hired all the security. You're just basically adding a couple of hours onto everyone's contracts, which I don't think would be the largest part of the money. I think I agree most matches should be at Porirua Park, and not that I've actually been there. But it scored well in that PFA report that Holly was mentioning about in terms of atmosphere, in terms of the quality of the pitch. It was marked quite highly, but this is by opposition teams coming there, so that looks quite good. And in terms of developing an identity for the women's team and supporters going back and having some consistency, I think that's good. But I think we would miss out a bit of a trick on that other mass of football supporters who do go watch the men. There may be season ticket holders or it's just a regular thing. But they haven't really thought about going to see the women. Maybe it's not just in there and just maybe seeing them maybe once or twice a season, or having the possibility of seeing them once or twice a season without having to do anything extra, like get a train out to Porirua, I think would probably help in pushing that. Ideally, I would have liked to have maybe had a double header for the derby, because we were going to have a big crowd. You can make a really big thing of it, which they're going to anyway, and you may have got them more people coming in to say, you know what, why not? I will turn up a couple of hours early and I'll watch the women, which, because I haven't been to see them before, and maybe that would then roll on to a couple hundred more at Porirua Park. So I would have liked to have seen one or two double headers, but, again, I don't see the finances, so I'm not sure.
I don't mind the decision. I guess one thing for me that I noticed is that I think there's only really 2 weekends where the men and women play in Wellington at the same time. They're on different dates, but at least, only 2 weekends. The rest, it's a mixture of home and away, and that's excluding Unite round as well, which is obviously in Sydney. And so, double headers, there's not really that many opportunities for them this season, but not even having them home on the same weekend just makes, a trip down to Wellington might not be as worthwhile to out of town fans as well. Someone like me who would want to travel down to Wellington, in a weekend and catch both games, it's less of an opportunity now. But I like Porirua Park. I went there for the first time last season. Got to watch us lift the Sister City trophy there, for the Pride round, and we have a pretty good track record there as well. It looks like we won 4, drew 1, and only lost 1 game there. So, I'm happy that they get their own kind of stadium to play in and to kind of make their own little field and have their own identity separate from the men's team.
What do we need to see from this season that we didn't see last season? Like, where's our lessons learned? Where do we need to improve? Obviously, I would like to say that we make finals this season. Any thoughts from anybody about where we go from that, where we improve?
I think last season we lost a lot of games 2-1, and we kind of, I don't know if it's the quality of players, but maybe we didn't have, that experience that you kind of need to, take a game from 2-1 to 2-2 or to, a 3-2 win. There are a lot of players on their first pro deals with us from the States, I think. A lot of academy players, especially in kind of the second half of the season. And I just wonder if the little, added experience in the squad this year might kind of help with just that final push or final, keeping a 1-0 win, not losing 2-1 or succumbing to a 1-1 draw. I think existing players will have learnt a lot from last season, and that kind of builds on from the experienced players as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more consistency, I guess. I mean, last season we started off really well, playing some really, really nice football, the whole small ball thing that we were told about, and then it sort of just fell away. We had that horrible run of away matches where, as Alex says, we just couldn't, we would take the lead and we just couldn't hold on to it. And all our playing sort of broke down, our passing broke down. Why that was, I'm not too sure, but trying to get a bit more consistency throughout the matches and throughout the season, I think we'll keep us going a long way.
Form has to improve. The home and away table was stark, incredibly stark. I think we were top 2 or 3 for home and then bottom 2 or 3 for away. So I think that's the thing that needs to be fixed first and foremost. I don't know what fixes that. Erin, did you have any thoughts on what we need to see this season?
Same agreements with what's been said. It's, watching, looking through the results from last season, we'd score early and then lose 2-1. And we'd lose those 2 goals in kind of a quick succession, maybe just a lapse of judgment, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, loss of focus, and we're suddenly down and we can't catch up. But then saying that, we also had a few games where we did come from behind and end up winning as well. So, it was almost like they needed to kind of be losing to win, and if they were winning, they would lose. It was a bit of a strange run of results there. And I also saw quite a few late goals conceded, in the 90 plus 2 minutes or so, which it's not good if it's gone back to goal difference now. Losing goals like that can kind of come back and bite you at the end of the season. I think we still managed to get the 3 points from some of those games, but it could easily be a chance where we, drop 2 points or even lose the game because we don't play until that final whistle. We kind of stop at 90 and, hope for the best. But yeah, just from start to finish, stay focused and keep to the game plan and stop, trying to whip in crosses if we don't have players who can win headers in the box. Last season, if we have Michaela Robertson up top and you're putting in a high cross, chances are it's going to get taken before she even sees it. So we do have Jale up there now, so we do have a bit more height. I think Maya McCutcheon's relatively tall as well, so there might be something we can add back in, but stick to the game plan, stick to the strengths of the team, and don't panic when it's not working. Just be patient with it.
Now for the part where everybody is bold and makes a prediction, or is not so bold and makes a prediction. Where do you think we can finish the season? I would like to think we make finals, even if it's next at 6. Other thoughts on that, Alex?
Yeah, I think finals is kind of the goal this season. I'm pretty sure we've improved every season, like had more points or had a higher placing than the previous season. So I kind of expect us to do the same this season, hopefully, carry on that legacy. I think with heaps of academy players in the squad, it will be tough. But Paul Temple, off the back of his first pro coaching season, he will have learnt a lot from that, and maybe some new ideas how to keep the team focused. And same with the academy players. I think we can definitely make finals.
I would like to think we can make the finals. I don't think we're going to tear the league up, so I'll be sort of looking at 6th place, maybe 5th place. I think we need for that to happen. We need to be pretty lucky, I think, with injuries and availabilities. We've got a bit of a few key players that we need. Mac Barry, that we've mentioned before. I think Tiana Jaba as well, who, interesting, is the only Australian in the squad. One Australian, which I thought was, I only realised that I saw the list that Holly sent through. That's pretty unusual for any Phoenix team to have that few Aussies in there. Nothing against that, probably a good thing. But Tiana Jabra, I think, can be a very big player this season. And then Emma Main needs to continue sort of break out like she did last time. Melissa Wynnum, as I mentioned before. And then Grace Jale needs to be getting the service. If they can stay fit and play to their abilities, then I think, we probably will make finals. We lose any of those guys for any length of time, whether through injury or unavailability or a loss of form, then I think we may struggle. We'll be like last season, probably just failing to make it.
Yeah, I got called a coward and a cop-out for not picking a placing for the men, so I'm not going to make that mistake again with this team, because some harsh critics out there. But I'm going bold. I think we'll make top 4. I back the team. I think that a lot of other squads have it worse than we do. A lot of squads have lost a lot of their good players as well, and I think that we have the capability to make it into the top 4. We have, if Annalie Longo stays fit, she's back in. She's a good experienced player, and she'll be really beneficial to help us get through it as well. I think we played really well when she was on the pitch last season. Fix our away form, and we're definitely through. So I think finals at minimum, but I reckon we'll make top 4.
Round 1 is in just under 2 weeks. It's Friday, November the 1st. We have an away match versus the, are they the Snakes? Because the men, Western United, are definitely the Snakes. I don't know whether we've got a reason to call the women's team Snakes. Maybe they're Snakes by association. Who knows? Anyway, I think they're a bit of an unknown because they've lost some of their really good players, but it's hard to know. Hopefully our away form picks up. I would be happy with a draw. Danny?
I'd be very happy with a draw, to be honest. First game, effectively a whole new team, if not a whole new squad. We're against, again, I don't really know what West United have done with their squad, but they're generally a very well-run side in terms of their organisation. And at their own ground, it's going to be tough. So I would be more than happy with a boring 0-0 draw. Quite happy with that indeed.
Yep, I feel the same. I don't really know much about the Western United squad, but they've been good in the past. I think we'll kind of build throughout the season. Phoenix sides traditionally don't start the season well. We did last season. I guess we'll see if that was an anomaly or maybe that's kind of a woman's thing that we start the season well. But a draw. I'll be happy with that.
If we think back to the Western United games last season, we won that first one 3-1, which brought us the Macy Fraser free kick, which lives rent-free in my head. Top corner from outside the box. That one was a late goal by Chloe Lagazzo, I think, in the 92nd minute or something like that. And then the second one was a 3-0 loss where we lost about 6 of our squad for Ferns duty. And so, it's hard to tell where we how we competed with them last season. I think that Western United managed to almost scam their way into third place. I don't think that they were better than some of those other teams that made it to the finals. And I think that, they've lost Hannah Keane, who was their top goal scorer. She has gone on, but, they do still have Chloe Lagazzo. And they had Hilary Beale in goal, but she's since left as well. But they've pulled in Chloe Lincoln from Canberra, who I think is a good goalkeeper, but it's hard to tell because Canberra were always conceding. I always just saw her picking the ball out of the back of that net, looking in absolute stress from her defence. So it's so hopefully this is a bit of a better gig for her. And in terms of Western United so far, they've had one pre-season game by the looks of it against Adelaide, which they lost 2-0. And Adelaide were awful last year, so I don't know if that's a reflection on how Western United is going to be this year. So I think that we could get a good result from this first game. I reckon a 1-0 win for us.
All right. Well, thank you. That was our season preview. I can't wait to see where we were right and where we were wrong. Everyone who is attending the men's match tomorrow, please enjoy your alcohol responsibly, as well enjoy the march. I'm assuming that will be fantastic. We look forward to watching the match on TV. I do want to shout out the Fever FM podcast. Not a rival. We don't consider them rivals, but anyway, I do actually recommend their interview with Chiefy, their last episode. I know that in the men's preview I was feeling a little bit despondent about the changes, but you listen to that guy and you just come away with like all this confidence and hope in his ability. So go and listen to that episode if you haven't already. Otherwise, that is for us. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.